everyone. Time to grab your remote controls if you still have them and time to get ready for the war. Stream War Pros is back on, and we are live to discuss some of our favorite streaming networks and really get down to brass tacks this time around. So it's episode 2. So we're still very young, and I am going to introduce my awesome, amazing co-host. So I'm co-host Nardo, and maybe to your left, but to my right is my co-host Gia.
Hey everybody!
And then right down below, the man that has all the text hands.
Yes.
Our resident. I was trying to think of an encompassing word because Dave is kind of like a show whore. Like she's a little bit in all the shows. But I wanted to be nicer. But for now, we'll keep that. Dave!
What's up, ladies? I'll take the show whore. You know, it's not my fault. You know, I have my hands in many shows there.
Yes, you're the hat man. I like to call it that because you wear a lot of different hats. You know, I think Nardo and I are the hat ladies. You're the hat man.
Oh, there you go. You can be the hat man. Because I was gonna say, if he is a show whore, it sounds very much like he's like the polygamous show guy. Like, no, I can't stick to one show. You know, I got an open show contract with. Exactly. I guess technically, Align would be your first person, right?
Whoever makes me the best offer, you know, I'm there.
He's not. He's saying he's not picky.
He's syndicated. David is syndicated.
Oh, he is very syndicated.
I like that.
I think that's gonna be a new thing for Stream War Pros. We're gonna just start using like television jargon for description purposes. Like that dress setting you have on back there is not going good. That dress setting. Dress setting, like that curtain doesn't go.
No, it was so funny. When you were introducing Dave, I thought you were going to be like, oh, like he's our tech. I was like, a technical producer would be a good name. But no, he's a whore.
He is a whore. Because I'm like, yeah, he is our technical
She's just calling it how she sees it. Pretty much.
I can't help it that I calls it how I sees it. And how I sees it is use a whore. Like, I'm sure that's bad in some sort of this cancel culture.
I think it's the perfect reflection of pop culture pros. I think that's exactly what.
Thank you.
The vibe we go for.
And you can cancel me if you want. I don't care. Anyways, so now that we're back, I'm going to give a little bit of a rundown for those of us that didn't join us about a month and a half ago. So I want to correct Steve because he was a little concernicus. Basically, Steve is like, wait, I thought you'd do it every month. And I'm like, yeah, but we did it so late in the month that if we would have done it in the very next month, we were talking about shows that were in that month. So I was like, no, so let's just wait. We have more content. We will be back on the last Thursdays of every month. This is the last Thursday of this month. So we'll be back in May, closer to, I guess it would be the 27th of May, right? That's pending that all of us can make it.
True.
Right.
We'll be fine.
We'll be fine. We've noticed that we're pretty good on the up and up. So before we get this sexy beast. Oh, Steve. And hey to you also, Gia and Nardo.
Hi, boss. How are you?
I never thought the sexy beast would be us. It definitely is Dave with his technical prowess. In addition to that, so basically, just to give everybody a little bit of a reminder, before we go straight into the war, we always discuss one network that, as a group, we love and enjoy. And this month, we're focusing on Disney Plus. So Disney Plus. So last month we did kind of discuss a little bit because of WandaVision and how Disney Plus exactly. We were like, it's a chef's kiss. It was amazing. But this week we wanted to discuss other things that are in Disney. So actually, Dave, why don't you start so we can have a nice, comfortable segue from WandaVision to Winter Soldier and Falcon. My accent is all over the place today.
I can see it. You're letting everyone know you're from the 305.
I know my ethel's coming out a lot.
Oh my god!
Oh, your shit that Miami people say is coming out.
I love it.
So hard.
I'm too white for this. I'm just gonna laugh and smile because I can't say anything culturally.
So Dave, tell us about the show?
Well,
I mean, because you
all
saw
right.
the whole thing, right?
Yes. So I'll be talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or if spoiler alert, if you saw it all, the ending ends with a new title, and that is Captain America
I
and
did
the
know
Winter
that.
Soldier.
I did know. I
Oh,
did know that. I did know that because the internet.
right.
I'm sure the internet ruined all of it. Him in that outfit, which I thought it was great. I mean, he looked fantastic throughout the whole series. You know, it was building him up to try to gain that confidence of being Captain America from Falcon, and you know, he even talks to another gentleman that was older and he was black as well, and he kind of went him to talk about it because he had the super soldier serum, and he's like, you know, being Captain America is gonna it's like it's a tough job, like, and for a black man, a lot of people are not gonna want that. So like he also went through like his demons as well as a Winter Soldier going on, like if Falcon doesn't think he can be Captain America because Steve thought he could be, what makes me think that I'm also gonna be good because that's what Steve thought. You know, maybe Steve was wrong, so he's wrong about me as well. And it was fantastic all around. I really loved Wyatt Russell in it. He was, man, like he was trying to be a villain, being the new Cap at first, but afterwards, like I fell in love with his character, and now he's gonna be the U.S. agent. I'm looking so forward to
Nice.
see where they go with his character. So definitely,
He's
this was kind of like a small Marvel movie. Well, I'd be a longer Marvel movie, and if you're a Marvel fan, you won't be disappointed with this one.
so he's
Wow.
that captain is the one with the squishy face that everybody made fun of, right?
Yes, Wyatt Russell, that was him.
That's
It
Kurt
was
Russell's
John
son.
Walker. Yes.
Kurt Russell's son. Yeah. Gia, did you catch any of those stills or any parts of that show? I know you must have seen some of the pictures.
Yeah, I've seen some clips and stills. It looks gorgeous. Yeah, and like you said, like a longer movie, I can definitely see that being done. But the story just sounds so good. I just still can't believe that it's been 6 weeks since WandaVision ended, and now like this now Winter Soldier's over. I can't believe it's been this much time so fast already.
And I didn't think it was going to be over that quick because Loki doesn't start again until June. So I thought, oh, it doesn't start till June. So I thought they were going to make it longer, go into May, but they didn't. But either way, it was great.
Yes,
I
June
mean,
11th. Watch out for Loki. Yeah.
Your Gil saying that he's excited to see where John Walker goes next, which is true. Now that he's the U.S. agent.
well, now
There you go.
I did hear the rumors of already talking to like rebooting the Agent Carter, the new Carter, and they're saying that that's the move that they might move him to. So because I know Carter played a role again, the daughter, great granddaughter, right? I'm saying that correctly.
Yes.
She comes back. Emily, I always forget her name, but she's been acting for a while. I know her first name's Emily, that particular actress, but I saw her still, so I'm like, oh, so they, which is always expected to me with Captain America, is the fact that like we're gonna get a lot of like Agents of Shield stuff because
Yeah.
that's like where he comes from, and that's a lot about it. I also think, I don't know why, probably because it's also the Agent of Shield stuff. I do think that they're going to bring um that's going to play a role maybe in the Black Widow prequel, like it's going to be all about
Mhm.
her, but maybe closer to the end, something like that. I mean, I could see that happening anyways. I thought it was cool. The other thing I wanted to point out is that I don't know why I didn't anticipate that he was going to be Captain America, because I feel like I had known that he was going to be that. Like I was, when I saw it, I was like, yeah, wasn't that supposed to happen? And everybody's like, no, that's a big surprise. I'm like, why do I feel like I knew it? So I'm like, maybe it's in the
Right.
What?
comics and I don't know. That's a Granny
Well, yeah, definitely.
P
But maybe it
thing.
was, well, if you go from Endgame, he was given the shield. So I guess from there you thought, okay, he's gonna, take the mantle. But here it starts off that he doesn't want it. Like he just gives up the shield, and then the government's like, all right, well, we need someone to be Captain America. Who do we get?
Ah, okay.
Kurt Russell's son.
Yes.
Kurt Russell's
Bye, Chris
son.
Evans. See you later.
Yes. Too bad that he, like, it's so funny in an accompanying group chat, it was discussed, like, my shorty, she was always saying, she's like, he looks terrible. I'm like, he doesn't look that bad. Like, I think it's just the mask that they had him in and the haircut, like, just was unfortunate features, because I want to say he was like, I don't know what movie he was in, but he was another one where he had like long shaggy hair, and I was like,
22 Jump Street. He was the
was it?
quarterback.
Okay, there we go.
That was him?
Yes.
Oh my
I'm
god.
like,
Okay, now I'd like to watch it.
I was
Nice.
like, yeah, he looked okay. So, but that's awesome. It really, you know what? I'll probably just give it a look now because it'll be a nice like now that because I'll be honest, I didn't really see it. I only saw stills. I can just watch it and wait for Loki. It'll be my palate cleanser, if you will.
Nice.
No, Steve's absolutely right. I cannot wait for Loki. I think that that's another one that the family is really going to enjoy because he's so him.
I'm excited for Owen Wilson in that one.
Yes,
I feel like he's
me
gonna be
too.
hilarious in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for a lot of that like comedy to come back to Marvel, you know. Oh, and I wanted to bring up too, since we're talking about Disney Plus, so Disneyland has officially announced the Avengers Academy that they're opening.
Oh wow.
Amazing. In Magic Kingdom? Well, obviously, but
Well,
is it gonna be
in California.
at which park?
Ooh,
Do
I
you
didn't
know?
read. I didn't read that far because I was like, "What do you mean Disneyland?
Land.
Like,
Yeah.
you need to bring it to Disney World."
No, I know. I agree. Yeah. Well, Disney World has had too much construction. It just needs to be relaxed and chill. And Disneyland has been closed for like because Disney World reopened like months and months ago.
Yeah,
So it's
back
time
in,
for
like,
Disneyland
as soon
to get
as
back.
they could. Gotta love Florida.
Yes,
Yeah, man.
exactly.
We no shame in the pandemic game over here. We were just like
I know.
What? People, what? Outdoors, not as bad. Awesome. Open. Even though they barely took a hit. Okay, well another Disney favorite that I enjoyed in Disney Plus that actually me and my husband watch literally religiously now is the new Mighty Ducks All or Nothing.
Woo!
Or Game Changer. Sorry, it's Game Changer. Mighty Ducks Game Changer. So
I was like, All or Nothing. That's Bring It On.
let's bring it on. I wasn't too far. So like, and it's so funny because it is a kid show. Like you could tell it's modeled in that Disney formulaic, like sort of like you before the show started. Gia was talking about like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Hannah Montana. I'm like they have a formula, and it's there, but this execution is so much sweeter.
Yeah,
and
good.
You feel for the characters. The children characters reflect this generation very much. TikTok is talked about. But you still have that essence of the original group. And I'm really excited because this week we're bringing back the original Ducks.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to see. And they all come back. I like it. Literally, the show finished, and me and him were like, "Oh my god!" Like, so excited. But it's a really good show. And the other thing is that you have a different version. It's like the same version of Bombay, but it's starting to peel back the layers of what happened after the semi-pro career.
Okay.
He runs a skating rink. The main character gets the Mighty Ducks exist. He's no longer a part of them. So they're now the hot shot hockey team.
Okay.
And these kids are actually in a team called the Don't Bothers.
The Don't Bothers? I love it.
Yes. And it's like but it's the same concept. They are like, the type of kids that wouldn't necessarily be on the hockey team, but they end up being good. The other thing I like is that they do have a kid that's supposed to be reflective to someone on the spectrum who plays their goalie. And I think that that's a nice, and the way they're doing it is not like so in your face that all of a sudden he like changes. He's still very much a recluse character that does little things that slowly show how he's adapting to being. But every time they film him in the group, he's on his phone. So it's like they still kind of keep like his flavor going. And I love it because this last episode, speaking of TikTok, that was how the girls kind of got into a bit of a conflict. It was like, why didn't you post a TikTok with me? Are you embarrassed to be my friend? I'm like, you should be embarrassed that you're filming a TikTok.
Like, Steve.
That's what every other website that covers.
Don'tbother.com.
Hashtag we the best.
Nice. Well, the Nobodies and Don't Bother, those are very, very similar.
There you go.
That's see, so they should hire us. Disney Plus, hire us for your creative team. We got
for
you.
Real. I don't know why am I still like in a teacher? And the other thing I've been binging has been The Simpsons, which I think is hilarious. That's on Disney.
How have you started watching it?
Huh?
How have you started watching? Like season 1, or did you go to like the most recent and work your way back?
Season 1, because the kids never really saw it, and we have annuals to Universal, and it's the background noise of the house now. Like my stepson, his favorite shirt is his Simpson shirt. He came and I like hung it up because it's a nice shirt, and he's just like, "Where's my Simpson shirt?" I'm like, "Oh, it's hung up, so it means we wear it when we go places." And he's like, "I want to wear it now."
Oh. Well, then work your way up back to Universal, and then see, that's what I don't get. Because the Simpsons, like the whole Simpsons area, is still at Universal. So how is this gonna work, theme park wise?
They still
Same
have
thing
the
like with
X-Men as
Marvel
well.
Island.
I know. I don't get it. They gotta chill.
Well, I don't know.
So no-
Yeah, how are they gonna change that? Dave, do you have insight?
I don't think they're gonna change it. Maybe the Marvel eventually, but which is why they call it like Superhero Island instead of like Marvel Island.
Marvel Island. My God.
The Simpson one, I don't think. I think they have to have some exclusivity there that they're not gonna be able to give that up.
Yeah.
Who owns DC?
DC?
I don't know.
Is that Sony? Why do I feel like it's Sony?
Me?
Yeah, you
Is
Google
it?
that. because
Warner
I was
Brothers.
thinking-
Warner Brothers. Yep.
So then, wouldn't it make sense? Well, no, Warner Brothers is not a division of Universal. Because I was like, maybe they'll try to do that. Is all of a sudden the green coaster turns black and it's the Batman coaster? Because that would be
I think they have
Right.
that with what's that part? Six Flags.
Six Flags.
Oh, okay.
But,
Six Flags.
okay, but that's in Georgia.
Right. But I honestly, the only thing that's keeping, I think, like right now, Universal at bay is NBC, because now it's NBC Universal. They had that merger years ago, and now they have the Jimmy Fallon ride down there, and now they have like a whole Today Show cafe that I saw
Yeah, they
in
do.
February when I went,
And it's so awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah, so they're retheming the entrance to Universal, but everything in the back, they're just like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, like there's still that area where I think we talked about it last time. That Sinbad area that we're all like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
nobody knows what it is because
That's
everybody
it.
just walks through to get to Hogsmeade.
Exactly.
Oh my god!
So
All right.
Nardo, with the Simpsons, how long are you, like, let's say one day you're there and then he's watching the Simpsons, he goes, "Hey, eat my shorts."
I will cry tears of joy.
Aww.
No, it's funny because
great.
when we went, like obviously, like I like the idea of matching shirts, not like the same shirt. Sometimes I think that's a little much, but people do it. So we got Simpson shirts, and I was looking at them, and I was like, hey, each of these characters are very representative of the individuals in my family, with the exception of the baby, because like that one doesn't exist yet. She could be the dog for all I know. But I was like, okay, yeah, my husband kind of is like the more goofy guy. I'm the one that keeps it always together, like Marge. I even laugh like her when I'm not cackling, right? Like, type thing. not in that moment. My stepdaughter is definitely the smart one, and then my stepson is like tumbling around, always trying to get he's like a typical boy. He's a typical
Your poor
boy.
stepson. My gosh, that's so cute.
Oh, he is though. He's such a ham, like Spider Pig. See what
Exactly.
I did there?
Boom.
I brought
Yep.
them.
Done.
Boom. Boom. Put it together. But I think Disney Plus is killing it, man, because they're just. Well, okay, John, Dave. I was about to call you John Stamos. What is that show about?
I mean, you could if you
Yes.
want to.
What is that show about? Like, I saw it, I'm like, I don't know.
Well,
What
I
is it?
think someone asked.
Yes, Gil asked. Yep. Okay, so it's called Big Shot. I love this show so far. It's so good. And I think so. I have a question. Is everything on Disney Plus premiered on Friday? Like every new show, new episode?
I think Mighty Ducks is on
Is it-
Sunday.
It's on Sunday. Okay, I wasn't sure. So Big Shots on Fridays. So episode 3 comes out tomorrow. John Stamos is excellent in this. I was so surprised. So Big Shot is basically about this this basketball coach, like Division 1, who gets fired for basically being a hothead and possibly other bad things. I'm not sure. But he gets a phone call first thing, and he's just like, okay, like you're getting fired, but you're gonna go and teach like high school. And he assumes that it's boys, but it's actually a private girls basketball team at a private school.
Oh, okay.
In like beautiful La Jolla, California. So back to La Jolla. Also La Jolla, Jersey boys, shout out, hey. And but it's really good, and it touches on just basically cancel culture and basically the life of this fictionalized, canceled coach, and how he's like getting like crazy demoted down to a high school level. But it's also about dealing with like gender stuff between like amping up girls instead of just having a guys basketball team. But that's not really touched on that much, so it's not like too in your face with male female sportsmanship differences. It's mostly honestly about his daughter. There's a great foil there because his daughter is being bullied because of her dad, because her dad's an asshole. according to like every ESPN story everywhere and just all over the internet. So they're bullying her for his dad's wrongdoings, but she still loves her dad, and she actually wants to go live with him in California because their parents are divorced, and so she can escape from that awful school life that she has now, and she could start over there with her dad. So it's really, it's a beautiful idea, like to talk about, like, okay, so like cancel culture with all these adult dudes, how are their kids dealing with it? So I think it's interesting. Yeah.
No, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
it's really good. And like they touch on cancel culture immediately.
I love that. No, because I was, you know, since it was brought up in the beginning of the show, I do think that it's great that it's being talked about the after effects of what cancel culture is and the repercussions of it, because I think that right now, I do think that it's very much a my generation thing to say, right? Like, I'm not a Gen Zer, right? I'm a millennial, I guess, at this point. That cancel culture just seems like it's too much right now. Like, everything is a problem. The word I've hated the most is problematic. Everything is problematic. And I'm like, listen, it's not that it's excusable, but I do think that the reason why we study history is to learn from it and not just hate on it. Like, yes, I can sit here and we can look, people talk about some of our which is true, our founding fathers, XYZ. Yeah, at their time, that's how things were. But that's why we learn not to do that. Yet our politicians are still the same. So what does that tell you? You know, that, and then I do think that the after effect of the people that have to experience it on the side. So like, and this argument can also come from like that framing Britney Spears. Justin Timberlake got so much flack for it. And I'm biased in Sing for Live.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Right. I'm biased, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, he was 20 something. Your douchebag years are like your 20s, right? Like when you when you make the most mistakes, right? Whether it be,
and he was heartbroken. He was heartbroken.
And if we're gonna fall on him for having the right PR team and using that to his advantage, then we might as well say something about Mariah Carey. We might as well say something about Taylor Swift. We might as well say something about
Taylor Swift has made a living off of, you know, breakups.
Exactly. So shouldn't that be a problem? That could be a whole other episode on Taylor Swift stuff. Like, I love Taylor Swift, but if we're taking it from that morality perspective, which is subjective anyway, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, and look, the only reason why John Mayer has not been phased, other than the fact that yes, he's John Mayer, is because he's like, oh yeah, it's not a lie. I've dated all these women. Right. Which is another valid point about how women are looked in the industry and how males are looked in the industry. But still, if we're using the argument that like, oh, he made money off their breakup. Yeah, it was his as well. It's a 50-50 thing. So did she.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson.
Yes. You know? Oh my God.
Yeah.
That
thing.
Was a hot mess.
But they're both like in the stratosphere with what they're working. So it's great. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've talked Disney Plus up enough, because I think that was what we were coming out of the month with. At the end of our war, we'll tell you what to go into your month with, depending on who wins the war. So since the last episode, you know, we had team meeting and we decided, how did Dave get the job with the lovely ladies of pop culture? Well,
if you would have been here at the beginning of the show, you would have heard Nardo call me a whore, since I'm on all shows. So I think I took that title from you, Timmy.
Yeah, Tim is more like a guest star whore. I mean, can it be that star whore? Oh no, that's
like a featuring,
like a feature. That's another type of film, for sure. So like we decided to discuss a little bit more restrictions on how we're gonna do this war, so it actually kind of spicing things up. So basically, this is what it's gonna look like. Each of us have picked a streaming network that we're going to argue. That has not changed. However, now we are going to be timed. Because we're going to be timed, it means that our arguments need to be that much more clear, very direct, and for the most part, as comical as it can be.
Yes.
As comical as it can be. In addition to that, if you hear this sound...
Sorry, I was fixing my mic.
Comedic timing, dead air. Here we go. Bye. Yeah.
Well, I forgot which one we chose, but let's just go with this one, I guess. Yeah. If it plays.
It's the one we chose. What? It's not. Okay, so when you hear, I'm going to talk. There you go.
That's it.
That's it. So when you hear that, basically you have to finish talking. If you fall short of time, however, and you are the one with the shortest amount of airtime explaining your stream network, you are automatically dubbed the loser. However, you do gain a little bit of power by then being able to be the one that gets to pick when we enter the rebuttal stage. Rebuttal stage will be between two streaming networks, excuse me. And then that person can basically say, okay, I like this, I didn't like that, and I think you're the one that wins. And then that person, I don't know, maybe we'll make a crown by fourth episode. Like we should all make our own crowns and just take it out whenever.
Yes. I'm gonna have a One Division crown. Okay, I'm gonna grab it from the thumbnail on Disney Plus, and that's gonna be it.
And that's gonna be it. Perfect. Yes. And then we'll tie off the show with the little stream that. AKA a piss. The weak piss of the week.
The piss of the month.
The weak piss of the month, since it's a little stream.
Yes, also I do have to mention, so with this timing, everybody, this is business, okay? This is a moderated caucus. We are timed, we have no funny business. So get ready.
No funny business. Moderated caucus. That word caucus is intense, man. Like
it's cock and whores, what a day.
What a day. What a day. My kids are not going to be able to listen to this episode. Like, at all. So, like we said,
hi,
so
Mom.
If you're wondering, hi, Mom, right? So now if you're wondering the time, we're still working on it. But I think we all agree that 6 minutes is good. 6 minutes is solid, right? Enough time to explain, to beef up. This is more important than the People versus OJ.
Whoa.
Well. For now.
Wow.
For now. Okay, so
the stakes are really high, people.
So so question, and this is going to be a live discussion, guys. Should we rock paper scissors, like in the camera, to see who goes first?
Yes.
Ooh.
Can we do that? Are we all like?
Are we gonna? Okay, but is it? How do we play? Is it rock paper scissors shoot?
Yep.
Yeah. How is there another way?
Some people don't play it that way. Some people go rock paper scissors, and then on scissors they do whatever they're gonna do.
No,
okay, that must be in Europe, but here in America we do rock paper scissors shoot.
All right, ready? Okay.
Right.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Ready?
Count us down. Yep.
Rock paper scissors shoot.
Wow, we all did. Wow.
One more time.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
And rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, Gia
wins.
one of you.
Okay, so Gia will be the first person, and then Dave, you have you're the higher letter in the alphabet, so you can go next.
Okay.
Great, I love it. Okay, so when the clock is going,
I'll let you know, and in 3, 2, 1.
I know you see, like I call it because the countdown for okay. So my stream network of the month is Hulu, because for all of my movie people out there, I know right now with Stream Wars, it's movies and TV. Specifically, we got to focus on the Oscars this month. So crazy, the Oscars were in April. What are you going to do? I felt weird about it. TBH, I almost forgot about it because I was waiting for it to be in February. We talked about this last month. I'm still kind of salty that they happened in the first place just because of everything with COVID, because there wasn't really that much of an opportunity for it to be equal. However, Hulu stepped up and did make it a much more equal opportunity for the masses to watch, not only in the United States, but around the world, because the Oscars are to me, they're not just an award show. This is a time for the entire world to come together to see how America judges their movies. And I think it's very cool because that keeps us very elevated in the world, and people look to American culture specifically through our movies a lot of the time. So I love it. But anyway, so I had to binge the movies before the Oscars, because to me, like, the Oscars are my Super Bowl, okay? So I know Cine Sports Talk, RIP. That was like, I didn't know shit about sports. I'm like, okay, goodbye. I'm the Cine part, not the sports part, goodbye. And so with Hulu, I watched Nomadland, and I caught as much as I could, but I was really happy to see it. And I was really grateful, and you can still watch them now. So if you go on the website, but of course it's updated because they got their stuff going. So they have Academy Award winners and nominees on there. So they have Nomadland, they have The United States versus Billie Holiday, and I really wanted to see that because also for my theater people out there, get this: Leslie Odom Jr., who played Aaron Burr in Hamilton on Broadway, also on Disney Plus if you want to watch it. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor and for Best Song. Yeah, he was on for 2 Oscars. That's pretty sick. Let's go. So you can watch his work on there too. There's also, what else? A bunch of stuff that I don't know what they are, sadly, because I'm an asshole. But there's more stuff on there, which is great. And also Hulu, just the classics too. So if you want to watch The Handmaid's Tale, that's now streaming the new season. So I know everyone's going crazy for Handmaid's Tale. And there's also, Pen 15 and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and all those cool shows. And Younger too, because I know Younger has the last season coming out as well. So a lot of good stuff, old and new. That's Hulu.
All right. So we're going to stop the clock. I think should we pause to the end and see before we say it? Because then that way we don't try to. So we'll pause. Okay. So Gia has her time. Dave is the only one I see. Honestly, seeing Clue winning for Judith and the Black Messiah, and then Chloe doing the butt thing were the highlights for me.
I agree. Yes.
What was the Glenn Coe's butt thing? Like I haven't seen my Oscars highlights. What did she do exactly?
She was just singing this song, and she did really well, and it was funny. Like she brought the humor to the show, which is good because it wasn't at the Dolby Theater. It was much smaller at the Union Station that they jazzed up, and it was cool.
It looked like it was at a Hilton ballroom.
It did.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, they did what they had to do. I get it, but it was fine. But Kaluuya's speech, what the hell was that? It was very.
He was like it started off good, and then he just went off on a tangent. Yeah, I'm gonna get drunk. Yeah, I'm so happy I'm here. So happy my parents had sex that I'm here, and the mom was there, and they zoomed on the mom. Mom was like, "What is he talking about?"
He's like, man, I'm never doing edibles before award show again.
Exactly.
That's what it was. I did hear that. I did hear he went up. The other thing I heard is that they were so socially distanced. I was like, what are you wearing? like that far apart.
That's true. Juliana Rancic was back, of course, to the coverage. Yeah, that was exactly what it was like. It was fun. No, of course. Congratulations. Huge fan. Of course. Duh. But it was just funny to see. But the thing is, with the Oscar speeches was that there was no music to cut them off. So everybody had around 4 minutes, if not more, to say something. Yeah.
That is the longest I think I've ever heard.
Yeah. The Oscars went till midnight. It was ridiculous. And then the order of the show was ridiculous. They usually open the awards with Best Supporting Actor. They didn't do that. They had original screenplay. I was very happy with that change. That was cool. But they ended it with it went Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Actor. And I was like, what the hell?
Weird.
Yes, it needs to end. It needs to go actress, actor, picture. And the fact that they changed the wording too, because a few years ago they changed it to best actor in best female actor in a lead role, and then best male actor in a lead role. But they went back to the word actress, and I feel like a lot of people would have gotten pissed off about that because of everything we say with gender today. It just was not, honestly, it wasn't inclusive, which I know is what the Oscars is trying to do. So that was very strange how they brought that back.
I wonder what the transition would be, right? Like actresses, I get it, it's male, female, but now that we enter into a more gender fluidity and things like that. Sorry, my dog is now a co-host. I don't know if you can hear her. She was just being a pain at the door. So now that we've entered that, I think that it does kind of
But what would it be? Best person who's playing someone else?
Yeah,
it's gotta be actor and actress.
That's the
easiest way to make it. I feel like to make it gender neutral, besides make a male and a female role or female and a male role, whatever it is.
And I think that that's maybe a conversation for a different podcast, right? Or to really a different live stream, because it is sort of like, okay, so now that we're entering this very, accepting but very confusing time for society when it comes, okay, so how are we going to do this? Especially I kind of do feel bad for a lot of actors and actresses that the whole part of your role is to encompass someone else or some other thing that to show your chops. So now it's like you can't play this, you can't play that. Like I get the race stuff that's stereotypical and whatnot. But like, I know that in the past, a lot of Oscars were won by people playing, like Jared Leto, who was nominated for playing a transsexual prostitute. So it's kind of like, oh, since he isn't, he's not allowed, right? Like, is that so? I think there has to have a conversation of like, okay, so what is going to be okay, and everybody's going to accept.
Yeah, I think time will tell. It's still very new, but I know but it just seemed like a step backwards for what they were trying to do.
Agreed. All right, Dave.
Yeah.
It's your turn, Daddy-O.
All right, let me get the clock going. Go to the banner. And where am I? Sorry about that, guys. All right, and I'll be starting in 3, 2, 1. All right, so then my streaming service for this month was the granddaddy of them all, the one who started it all, Netflix. And there's one show that I've seen some people give love to, some not too much, and that is Ginny and Georgia. This show, I wasn't too sure. I saw the picture of it, and I was like, do I want to watch this? Like, it looks like maybe it might be some like chick show that I'm not gonna really want to watch. So then I saw the trailer for this, and it starts. And the trailer is with Ginny in her class with the professor, and she just makes the professor look idiotic. He's reading like, oh, I don't think, like, basically, like, not shunning her, like being like, oh yeah, don't worry about it because I know you're probably not gonna be able to catch up and read it. And then she's like, excuse me, no, yeah, I've read that book. And from looking at your list, you have 18 books or 12 books, whatever, and only one of them is black. And let me guess, and one of them is by a woman, something like that. And let me guess, that one is gonna be in Black History Month, and it's gonna be killing two birds with one stone. And he was just like, what? And so immediately I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. I'm intrigued. So essentially, it's a show about a single mom who is raising her daughter and son, and they're just moving to this like little town. I think it was in Massachusetts, somewhere up in the Northeast. They were moving from Texas because her husband died and whatever. They were just moving to have a new life, and she was trying to get started. So it has a lot. Ginny's 15 years old. She turned 16 in the show, and she has never had like a stable home. So that's something that, she's constantly moving around. She finally she's like, you know what, I want to have something stable, Mom. Like, please don't ruin this. And she always apparently ruins it by, getting with someone, and either that ends terribly or they end up dead or they just break up. So there's a lot in this show, I think, for a lot of people. You have Ginny and Austin, which is her little brother, and they're growing up in a single parent household. And me, I grew up in a single parent household, so I could kind of relate to a lot of things that they were going through and just seeing. Then you have, Georgia. She's a single mom trying to, do better than what she was given. She had a rough life where, she was abused by her stepdad, and the mom would do nothing about it. So, where she just left on the road at, I think it was at also 15 or 16, something like that. And it just continues on from there. You start seeing little flashbacks of it, and you just see the hard road she did. But she's doing everything now that she can for her kids to have a better life. And of course, Ginny, being a teenage girl, which I can't relate to. I'm sure you ladies still can. She's going through her thing. She's trying to make friends. She has a gay friend. She has a friend who has really bad self-esteem issues. So she, I think, if I'm not wrong, she cuts herself. It's just
Oh, wow.
a whole different array of things. Then of course you have, Ginny has the choice between, a good, smart young man who doesn't really, I don't want to say understands her too much, but he's focused on his own thing. And then the choice between, a bad boy who kind of gets her and all the problems that she's been going through or that she goes through. So there's a lot going on with her, and I honestly love this show. And I think, to me, Netflix took it with this one. I think this is the winner. I'm sorry. I gotta say it. This is the winner. And Netflix also has a bunch of other things. I don't know if I want to talk about too much what's coming up in May, but, we got a little part 2 of Selena. So that's going to be fun. And, well, before that, we had a show that I didn't get to talk about on the last stream, which was Lupin, which is... I thought it was going to be a limited series, but no, they're actually going to make a second part this summer, I believe. And it's fantastic. It's also it's a guy from, I think it's set in France. Mm-hmm. And he's, the gentleman robber. So everything he does is
I
like
like
very
that.
slick and cool. But then it leaves you on a cliffhanger where they find out like who he is, and he's leaving with his wife, well, his baby mama and kid like somewhere, and they find out, and the kid like runs off, and they take the kid. So it just leaves you on a cliffhanger there for the second season.
Oh, snap.
So to me,
Okay.
that's another show that it was only 6 episodes. It was a really quick watch, which is a lot of things that I like about Netflix. It's a really quick watch. And one last thing that came out was the phenomenon of last year, which was The Circle. Season 2 came out this
Yeah.
recently. So up until this week, it's all the episodes that come out except for the final episode where they're going to choose someone, and that will be next Wednesday. But again, this season I think was a lot better than season 1. Season 1 kind of dragged a little, but this one has a lot more of like different characters, a lot of people just talking more crap, a lot of people being more upfront than you normally get. So it's another, again, Netflix is just rolling them out that I feel like there's no competition here. But, we'll see, because, we still have Nardo up here, and unfortunately, my time has stopped.
Your time has
Aw.
stopped? You got horned? I don't like.
I did
He
not
couldn't play
get
the-
horned.
Okay, he's gonna put the time in the chat so we all see it. It's funny that you said that's that social media show, right?
Yeah, that they're in like a room, like everyone's
Yes.
like, let's say they're in one building, and they're talking all through like a little chat, and you can see like
Right.
the people's picture, but it can be them or they can be playing someone else.
I do know that because I think I was listening to a podcast that had the winner come on, and I remember seeing the beginning of it because it had a bartender from Miami, right? The Samantha was from Miami.
Yeah.
So
She was.
so I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, and I watched it, but I think with all shows like that, when you including like The Bachelor and everything, you always gotta like there's a teeter-tottering between like it being interesting and it being kitschy.
Yeah.
And I think season 1 was very kitschy, like, oh my god, look where I'm living. Oh yeah, I heard this thing go off, and they make it sound I'm like, I'm gonna post this picture, I better get likes, and I'm like,
Yeah, like I said, season 1 was a little bit slower, I would like to say, than this one. It just picked up where there was like drama from like the second episode, and the girls are like literally throwing shade at each other.
Yeah.
Like that's what I don't feel like season 1 was everyone trying to be like, oh, nice,
Friends,
and things
right?
like that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
this one, it's like, oh no, you're gonna say this and kind of call me out. No, I'm gonna do this and do all this other stuff.
And who was the young? There was a really young cat on it too, right? Like from last season.
Yeah.
Well, I forget his name, but he was a sweet, like young, like, oh, I'm sheltered, so I did this show so I wouldn't be sheltered type of thing. But that's really cool, and you're right. Netflix does hold capital to
Shabam was his name.
Shabam, yes.
Bob.
Short-lived
Shabam.
shows. Short-lived shows because it's like 6 episodes, 10 episodes. They're definitely quick watches.
I'll put a.
Oh my god, David!
Gil
I
was
started
saying
bitch.
about here that he started binge watching Ginny and Georgia,
Yeah,
and that he's waiting for Love Is Blind season 2. I never watched season
I
1.
cannot watch.
Me neither.
No,
I
can't.
couldn't
can't.
get into it at all.
Yeah.
They lost me with that one.
Look at him, and I love that he was like, "I'm gonna open up and say a show I watch," and we're all like, "Nah, forget that show."
Yeah. True.
And then apparently Tim says that I lose automatically.
Oh,
I'm wearing a Giants jersey, Tim. Come on now.
Come on,
Yeah. Oh, come
let's
on,
get
Tim.
it
We'll
on.
give him some love. Yeah.
That's so funny. All right.
Yeah.
I guess it's my turn, right?
Yes.
What am I doing
It
again?
is.
I'm just kidding. All right. And
3.
my
Oh, you ready?
no, you count me down. I'm okay with it.
All right. And 3, 2, 1.
All right. So now it's time for my streaming network, and I think that it's the network that has been really holding the highest regard in almost every single show it has released, and has people the most anticipated for things that are going to release. I'm talking about HBO Max. That
All right.
word is already in there, Max, because it's the maximum. It's Maximilian. It's Maximucho. I don't know. I made that one up. Okay. So basically, the reason why I decided to go with HBO Max is because this past month I watched the Tina Turner documentary, Tina. So first things first, I've always kind of had this thing where like I'm really interested in Tina Turner, even though I didn't know her music like that well. I know obviously the hot hits, and we've all seen the Angela Bassett movie. that reflected her life and all of the struggles that she went through. But she actually went through a lot more internal struggles that like we've all heard the story of like the battered woman and the hard person, but she actually has like one of the best like backgrounds when it comes to how she defeated that I think it really takes notice. In addition to that, the documentary has opinions from so many people. Obviously, Angela Bassett, who played her, and she talks about what it was like to meet Tina Turner and to like get into her, not as a character. She goes, it's hard when you're playing someone who's real, because it's like you can't take what they are like just to myself. I had to sit with her and really discuss things with her that I don't know if she was ready to discuss. And then Tina Turner herself was like, in the beginning, she's like, I didn't even want to say I liked it, because I wasn't, she herself was like, I don't want to, perpetuate that old story. You also hear a lot of Oprah Winfrey, who interviewed her during those times. One of my favorite guest appearances, though, and this goes out to all like my old school people, was Kurt Loder. So Kurt Loder was yes, he is Mr. MTV. When you name the music news, it was Kurt Loder who gave it to you, okay? Right? When Biggie Smalls died, Kurt Loder was the one that delivered it to you, okay? When Tupac died, he's the one that, when YouTube broke records, he's the one that told you. So to hear him, bring him back and to talk about all this stuff with Tina Turner was really interesting. In addition to that, right now, currently has 91% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7.9 out of 10. So that, and she says that the film is the closest to her memoir, which is Happiness Becomes You. So really quick, so one of the main reasons you should stick to HBO Plus to see this documentary is when she discusses her divorce to Ike Turner. They had he basically took everything from her, every single cent. He owned all of the music, everything that she did when she was Tina Turner, when she was Tina and Ike Turner, when they were a group. He took it all. So Proud Mary, everything from the 60s and 70s, he owned it. And then when everything was said and done, she goes, I don't want anything from him. He can keep it all. There's just one thing I want. My name. My name is what I own. That's it. And that's all she took out of that entire deal, was the name Tina Turner. And that's how she continued to strive into it. The other really interesting thing is how she talks about her new music and how and this is something I think a lot of people know, but she really talks about why she never loved What's Love Got to Do with It. It was her hit song that brought her back, and she didn't like it. She's like, this is a terrible song. I don't like this song. And she knew the way she talks. When she talks about things, she's like, oh, it was terrible. I couldn't even, like she just has this great personality. It was really warm watching her. In addition to that, HBO Max also brought a new show called The Nevers. So The Nevers is basically X-Men in Victorian era. It is so badass. So it's not, there's only been 3 episodes because it's a weekly. So you kind of get that anticipation style that HBO was really good about back. But it is super cool because it seriously is like instead of calling them X-Men, they call them the Touched, because they receive some sort of like superpower in some way. So that's what they're slowly releasing. And HBO's future lies in the one thing that they need to redeem themselves in, and that is Game of Thrones. So they're currently in pre-production for the prequel of Game of Thrones. And I'm sorry, I am just hoping that it goes so well that everybody's like, last season, what was that? Like, no, it's fine. We're watching this now. So I do think that HBO Max has like a lot of, and besides that, Friends is on HBO Max. So, and my favorite season is the current season I'm on, is season 7, because it's like when Chandler asked Monica to marry him. Bruce Willis is in that season. Ross doesn't have really good development, but it is one of my favorite. It is one of my favorite Friends seasons, and I'm trying to think, is there any other reason? No, really, it's just the Tina doc. Do it. And that's it. That's why we should watch HBO.
Wow. Yay! Well, I will definitely watch the Tina Turner documentary. And I'm curious as to when that was filmed, because there's a Tina Turner musical. I'm not sure if anyone knows about that. It started in the West End in London, and it started in 2018. And then on Broadway, it opened in 2019. So her story's been everywhere in different ways. Did she mention the show at all?
She does. She does mention the show, especially towards it. We literally get beginning to end Tina. It premiered in the Berlin International Film Festival in 2021, in March 2nd. So literally right before the pandemic. And it was released here in later in March. So it must have been filmed during that lapse. She was in London when she was being interviewed.
Okay.
I think her husband's British, so she lives there. And
Okay.
I believe her husband's British. Yeah, let me just do some quick
So is this
looky
like
loos.
just one, like a documentary, just like one episode, or is it like multiple
It's
episodes?
118 minutes that
It's
feels long only because there's so many layers to like her life.
Got it.
It was directed by Dan Lindsay, who is actually an Oscar-winning documentary maker. And yeah, I think her husband is British, yeah, because he's one of the producers. That's what he
cool.
did. He produced songs. That's how she met him. Funny
Aw,
enough,
very
yeah.
nice.
So that's why they got together, which is funny. They also have a nice like back and forth. So it was really good. But you like Dave and Gia, you guys will love the Nevers. The people that have recommended me the docs have all been sick because that's who they knew when she came out. So I loved it. I think that if you're a music fan, you'll like it because it's a really interesting show. In addition to that, the Nevers really is like the X-Men in the like it's such a cool. It kind of, if you saw Penny Dreadful, you get a feel of that, and if you liked Penny Dreadful, I think you'll kind of dig this show too. So yeah. So okay, Dave, I guess we should release the times. Let's see.
All right. So, Gia had. I was just gonna say how much more time we had remaining from the original 6 minutes.
All right.
Gia had 3 minutes remaining.
Okay.
Ouch.
I had 35 seconds remaining.
Oh, you were close. You were close.
And Nardo, you had 46 seconds remaining.
Wow, so we all lost?
We all, well, I guess in theory, Gia, you lost the most, but
Okay.
no, but still, oh wow, I really thought that was 6 minutes. I really did.
Yeah,
think
it's
that
tough.
was 6
I was
minutes.
like going, and I was like, crap, I still have 30 seconds left, and I was like, I don't have anything else to say.
Yes, everybody. So this is our practice for our stand-up gigs. So please stay tuned for an open mic in Miami.
Absolutely.
And
oh my God, please.
Yeah.
Please stay tuned.
We'll have our tight 5 by next month, I'm sure.
I like that.
At least the tight 5. Yeah.
All right. So Dave, are me and you ready to rebuttal? So now Gia gets to play jury, right? Since she was the one that's giving up her crown for the episode. Me and Dave have about 3 to 4 minutes now that we see how little we talk to basically go at each other as to why we think that their argument was not the best. So, all right, Gia, you're all ears. You're ready to begin?
I am ready.
All right, so
ladies first.
Thank you. So I saw Gia and Georgia and
Ginny and Georgia.
Ginny, what a
Me and Georgia? Yes.
might have been a better show. So honestly, I was 50-50 because yes, you're right. There is a lot of today topics. It does have some depth, but there's this odd quirkiness in the background that I can't really put my finger on that I think the show tries too hard. It's as it is, Guinea is a mixed race child, right? So obviously things are going to be hard. So when she's presented to pick either the bad boy who gets her or the other mixed race person who should get her and does, she's like, oh, but I don't love him. And it's like, no, it's just because he's too good for you. Like, that's such a bad message to give to girls.
But that's not true at all. That's not what it is. It's not because he's a good boy or whatever. It was because he wasn't relating to her. She literally said, oh, like what happened? She had a thing with the professor or the teacher.
Right.
That she's like, oh, the reason he didn't pick mine was because, it's because I'm black. Like, everyone loved it. Even you loved it. And he's like, no, instead of like making it about like showing like whatever her problem was, he made it about himself. Like, oh, you're not the only one. I'm a mixed Asian, blah, 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 blah. And made it about himself. And it's like, that wasn't the point. The point was that, you have to be there for your girlfriend. Because at that time they were boyfriend and girlfriend. And try to comfort her. But instead of comforting her, he was like, nah, what you're saying is bullshit. My essay was better because he's actually the one who won. My essay was better and it has nothing to do with that because guess what? I'm Asian too. And it's like, really?
But you know what? I don't think I like that argument for the simple fact that, like, yes, okay, I get it. Yeah, all right. He does have to be there for her. But Ginny is a little bit too involved with her significant problems. Look at even the way she enters the friend group, right? She's all of a sudden this outsider who, now that she gets the correct boyfriend, she now thinks she runs everything. And that's ultimately what gets her into problems, is her trying to continuously exercise herself. And what does she do? Not to be big spoiler, because if Gio wants to see, I'm not gonna see it, but she does something that's really ridiculous. And it's kind of like, if you wouldn't have done that, you wouldn't have been in a better position. And I don't like the message that it's like, here's this person that, okay, yeah, you have this one argument, substantial, but let me do this terrible thing. And that I do think is a bad message for females. And it's like, no, you always have to go with the bad boy who like gets into
I'm
motorcycles.
trying to figure out what this terrible thing is.
She cheats on him.
Oh,
Does she?
Yes.
When?
Well, she doesn't like she with the other guy. She kisses him and stuff.
oh,
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, she cheats on him. She totally cheats on him. Okay?
I guess.
All right. Okay. And then
wait, hold on.
But again,
Why would they
you
not-
have to. It has to be realistic. You know, at the same time, these little-
realistically, you fight with your significant other and cheat on them because they couldn't understand why your essay was better.
it was more to that. It was more to that, and you know it.
I know, but I want to win.
Wow. Well, this sounds very nuanced, and I really can't make my own decision without seeing this show for myself. But I'll tell you what. From this argument, this sounds a lot like the freaking other Emily in Paris show. How people were like, "What is this?" Like, it's very like. I feel like maybe Netflix is very tone deaf. Maybe. I'm not sure, but of course I have to watch both of it. Exactly, yeah. Thank you, Steve.
Cheating.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna have to say. Well, actually, okay. I don't know if we're allowed to do this. I would like to say that I would pick neither of your networks to win.
I didn't even get a rebuttal against HBO here. I could have thrown you
true.
under the bus.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, right
Yes.
now I'm not. Okay, you're right.
So
you're right.
you're right. He's right.
Well, right now I'm not a fan of Netflix. So-
all right. So let's see. Okay, Dave. Let's
Okay.
There's nothing like Emily in Paris. I've never seen Emily in Paris, so I don't know.
I
Is
read
it
an-
tone deaf? Let me know,
We'll see.
because I don't care enough to watch. Okay.
All right. All right.
Okay,
Dave.
so great. Let's start off with you. I know I picked, the network that started it all. But you
Yes.
picked right now the OP network, the network that has everything and movies. Like, first off, that right there, and you didn't even name any of them. And I don't blame you, because what did they come out with? They came out with lousy ass Justice League Snyder cut, which was 4 hours of me sitting on my ass and it being sore the whole time and trying to stay up. And then they come out with the atrocity to what the original was of one of my favorite video games growing up.
Oh my
Mortal
God!
Kombat.
You did not like Mortal Kombat. Come on.
You talk about cheesy? Let's talk about cheesy, because I thought I was gonna be lactose intolerant after leaving Mortal Kombat.
First of all, it's the Mortal Kombat we all deserve, because there was real blood and they actually used the music. And what do you expect from a?
Oh, you mean the little techno
gaming
music,
movie?
right? That they had to
Oh my
fix
gosh.
up because they couldn't use the original music.
Well, because they didn't want to put too much on the original. They needed you to see the new one. And I get it. I will give you that the CGI was what it was.
All right, but let's go into
those
story then.
characters looked closer to the actual.
They did. I'll give you that. However, let's go into story. The whole premise of the movie was set on the tournament. Nardo, I know, you saw this movie. I don't know if you saw it in the comfort of your home or if you went to the movie theater. And if you went to the movie theater, that just shows how much less you think of HBO Max. But
Of course I didn't. Of course I didn't.
in what minute did the tournament happen? I'm still waiting for it to happen.
I actually have nothing to say to that, because I just realized that there really was no. Okay, so I think their version of the tournament was kind of like how the new game goes to like different rooms. Because I was like, okay, I've seen these rooms in a newer game, right? Like, yes, these backgrounds. Like, I think even Sonya's like trailer is kind of in it. So I was like, maybe they're not doing it like a tournament. They're doing it like the original game. It's 2 people or 2 and 1 people in like a specific setting. And yeah, and you know what? Like, at the end of the day, Fatal Flawless Victory was one of the best scenes. Come on.
That was
Come on.
cheesy. And they killed the best character.
Well,
They killed Kano.
nobody. He's not the best character.
Kano was the best character. His back hurts from carrying that movie. That's how great of a character Kano was.
Okay, so this is the thing though. As great as he was, how was Sonya gonna get her mark if she didn't kill Kano?
She didn't need it.
She totally needed it. And
She could.
you know what?
You know what? She could have killed the Bat Lady.
Why? But she has nothing against the Bat Lady. Her and the Bat.
What do you mean? She wanted to fight her, and then
no, she wanted
this
to fight
new
the
guy
girl
said,
with the teeth. She wanted to fight
her.
Melina.
Is she like a bat?
No, that's Melina. She's a ninja chick.
Okay, well, her, the one with the teeth, is the one I was talking about.
Yeah, you're talking about the Nara something or other. Did you even watch the movie? I thought you were gonna say that they killed off not Liu Kang, his cousin.
Oh no.
They killed off. Oh my god, Kung Lao.
Yeah,
that
no. He's good.
He was good. I liked him. And you know what? If that's all you got, at the end of the day, it was a super fun movie. I hate to use the F word. Okay, Snyder Cut was. I think that maybe instead of releasing it as a movie, it would have done good if they released it as a series, but it wouldn't work because it was already a movie. And you know what?
Yeah, and all he had to do was fix his mistakes, which is again, it's like we can redo the show. The people can say the show sucks, and then we come back 3 weeks from now and we do the same show and we just fix all the little kinks we did, and it's gonna be a fantastic show. We'll make it 7 hours.
This is Hollywood, babe. That's how it works.
It's a dog town.
It's a dog town. Okay, sit on the casting couch and get it done.
Oh my god.
For that alone, I think I won.
Oh my god. Too much.
Okay, so there we go.
Okay.
So Gia, now you've heard both rebuttals.
Okay. All right. Dave, you're hysterical. I think. Okay, so comedy-wise and laughs, Dave made me laugh. I love that. That's great. Not the casting couch. Okay, so, but, okay. The way you both presented your arguments were fabulous. But I still, okay, I'll say this. Between Netflix and HBO Max, even with Snyder Cut, however you feel about Snyder Cut, I think it's great that HBO Max still released that because I am all for having director's cuts and deleted scenes and all that stuff that we don't really have anymore. So I think that was a really cool option. However, Dave, with Netflix, I like that show sounds interesting and it feels like it's like a good attempt at trying to talk about like how kids are like working these days. So I am interested. I do want to watch the show. But if I can, because this is our first time we're doing this, I would vote for neither of your networks to win. Can I do that?
But then who wins?
I mean,
like,
then who wins? Then
she
no one
technically can do that.
I guess she can do that. I guess
I
is a mistrial.
I mean, we can leave it to we can leave it to the audience watching who they think.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'll say this.
All right.
I vote for Disney Plus to win. I do, but I'll say between HBO Max and Netflix, I'm actually gonna vote. I don't know. I think. Fuck. I think I'll do HBO Max.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, that's what she said. She said the little time.
I'll go in there now.
Yes,
Tim with the swerve. That's me.
Okay, but you know what? I think this is a good time to discuss this. I do think that if neither of us wins, everybody that's in the chat has to type in the network, and then that's who wins.
Okay, cool.
Or how about this? That is your closer to your deciding factor. See, there you go.
Yeah.
HBO Max. I'm just saying.
Yes. But I love you both.
Oh,
this
it's totally fine.
War.
I don't have a crown yet, but we will get them.
I will say.
I did like your argument though, Dave.
I did enjoy
because you went lower.
I was gonna say I did enjoy Mortal Kombat. I just had to give you something. I had to give you something.
You better.
I enjoyed it for the same reasons you did. I love that it was almost like video game like. The brutalities, just ripping everyone's like the only thing I was missing was Scorpion ripping the guy's head out and his spine hanging. That's the only thing I was waiting for.
I think that's okay. Mine was in here a second ago. No, that's totally okay. the whatchamacallit. The other thing that I thought was really interesting is that it leaves it open for a second. Gia's getting attacked by her dog. I love it. He's so cute. Hashtag Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah, I agree. Steve is right. I do think it's coming. I'm really
Now, who do you
excited
think
for it
gets
to
to
come.
play Johnny Cage?
Dedicate.
Someone recommended this newcomer that I don't know. I saw it. I saw it somewhere, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, that would be pretty good. Oh my god, I can't. Oh, Gia disappeared. I think her dog yanked her stuff.
Yeah, I'll bring her back whenever she comes in.
I'm trying to think. They suggested somebody, like somebody who's relatively new, and I can't remember who it is. And when they said it, I was like, yeah, this is what's working.
I mean, there's two guys that I thought of off the top of my head, and one of them was relatively, I mean, I know most of the people in the film are relatively new actors, but I thought of Channing Tatum. I think would be a good Johnny Cage.
Really?
Yeah, I know that people said
Channing
Ryan
Tatum.
Reynolds, but I don't think I like Ryan Reynolds in that role. And the other one was a gentleman who, man, if he gets that role, I think he's done it all at this point, and that is Mike the Miz Mizanin.
Oh my god, that would be pretty cool. I listen. I love the Miz because I like just watching him grow up. I was just like,
Bro, he's from reality TV show to WWE wrestler. I know he has like his little like WWE movies that he's done, like the Marine. But for him to be able to jump up to this one, that'd be great.
How is his show? How is his show?
Ms. and Mrs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious. Like half the
Yeah.
stuff that goes on with him. Yeah, it's hilarious. I love it.
I really.
But then again, I'm a
I was
big
gonna
time
say,
wrestling fan, and I love the Miz.
How many kids do they have? Like, what is
Two.
like? How is their dynamic? What is their dynamic? Like, is he like goofy? Is she goofy?
She's more goofy, I would say, than him. He kind of like brings her down, tries to bring her down and see her like make her see like different like straight ways. Like, why would we do that? No, you have to do this. But he's also like goofy as well sometimes. Like, I think for one of his things, he was like for his part, it was like a birthday party or something like that, and he thought that he was like gonna get some, I guess, with her. So he like goes, he changes, he gets all naked. He's like, "Oh yeah, come in here. I'm ready for you." Then he shows up and he's like naked and like he has like his family and friends like, "Okay, surprise!" And he's like, "Oh,
Yay! I think funny
so-
show, awesome. You know what? Speaking of funny shows, I think now would be a great, slightly staged. I could definitely see that. I mean, he is from the WWE.
Oh,
There's
Gia's
Gia.
Hi, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Your dog probably knocked everything down, is what I assume.
They were starving. I had to feed them.
He was like, "Feed me." All right, so now we were talking about other shows, so I think now is a good time to discuss all the wonderful shows that everybody can basically watch and listen to on our wonderful, wonderful network of PCP, right? That's your people, popculturepros.com. If you don't know, now you know. Yo. Sorry, that was bad. Yeah. All right.
Wow.
So every Monday, you can tune into the A to Z program with our resident David Letterman, Eric, and Dave, who is also the producer of that show. On Tuesdays, you get the Just Too Sweet show with Tim, Eric, Dave, and Bert.
Oh, me again?
And you again. And then the Four Quarter show with, you guessed it, Dave and Aline. On Wednesdays, you have the Put It in the Book show with our own wonderful Captain America, Steve. Keith Rodriguez and producer Joe. Oh, look at that. David's not on that show. And Granny's Peach Tea with Ed, Tony, and Jason. The other floating shows that you can catch is the Empire 161 show, which is about Yankees and the Star Wars when it's relevant. And basically that's Tim and Ed. And then, of course, the heavy hitter that is the Jader and Kyle show, because let's face it, they're the primetime one that everybody's going to go into. And right after this show, you can stay and watch the NFL draft special. I think a lot of stuff has already gone down. The boys are going to get together and talk about things. And I'm going to go have Chardonnay.
And don't forget to mention, last Thursday of the month, this show right here.
Last Thursday of every month, you get to go toe-to-toe with the Stream War Pros. Oh my God, I should totally be around.
Yo, Absolutely. Yes. And
Absolutely.
Tim, whenever you want us to, hit us up. We'll be there.
Another
Yeah,
show.
they need another face that's not mine.
You should just come. You know what? You should make cardboard cutouts of all of us and be like, "Hi,"
That is so funny. That works. And also, I have to say, I noticed on. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Well, on our YouTube channel, on Pop Culture Pros, I noticed we're at 924 subscribers as of yesterday. So let's get up to 1,000. Share it with your friends. We're growing, baby.
Share, rate, review, subscribe, share. That should be like, we should make a shirt that says that. So to close out our show, we're gonna do just one really quick Gia 2 for 1 margarita. Yes,
you got it in Glendale, Queens. Let's go.
I love the fact that we're representing the East Coast right now. So we're gonna do the week piss of the month, aka the little stream that could. So before we jumped on, we discussed that we're not entirely sure why we picked it, but we know that there's been a lot of commercials for Discovery Plus, another Plus show. Seems that it's literally
isn't
everywhere.
Aren't they like? You can buy the package with them with Disney and ESPN. I think they're all Pluses.
Is that what it is? I
think so, because ESPN Plus, you have Disney Plus, and then you have Discovery Plus. I think they're all like, you can buy them all in one package. I guess it might be the same Disney owner.
I guess Discovery is now bringing up all of HGTV style shows. I think are going to be there.
Yeah, TLC, I think, and then the one that I've been seeing the most of, and I'm actually intrigued, and I might get the service just to see it, is Bar Rescue, and essentially he's going to be, instead of going everywhere, he's going to be staying in Vegas because apparently he's from Vegas, and I guess with everything that's COVID related, he wants to try to fix the bars there and get them back running since it was his hometown. So he wants to make sure that they get back to normal and making money and prospering. So I'm kind of intrigued just to watch that one.
I've heard interviews with him, and he's he's pretty smart about those business plans. Like, yes, he's kitschy character, but he is. Have you ever seen Bar Rescue?
I haven't, but I know about it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. So that's the highlight one. And Dave, you know the rule. If you get it, you got to share that login.
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna have to post
or just work it for a week or so. These people got hip to our plan because I'm like, yeah, it's free for 7 days. I'm like, I can't watch. Yes, I can. I can watch a lot in 7 days, but you're supposed to give me the whole month. All right, guys. So that has been our show. Once again, I am Nardo here. Then we have wonderful Gia, and the one that's everywhere, Dave. As always, we welcome you back a month from now. So because I won, you should really go and watch HBO Max. Make your own decisions. In addition to that, we'll all have different networks next time. And as always, if you need a login, just ask.
Let us know.
Let us know.